Alright, so far I've only done beginner lessons, and this is still pretty much in the beginner phase. It's stepping into intermediate, I guess. And we'll take a look at a chord progression. It's a very easy way to start getting into changing chords, but it's also a cool progression. It has a very Spanish guitar sound, so I'm going to give it that kind of rhythm when I play it. 4 chords. So we're going to start off with the A minor. If you're not familiar with the A minor or the E major, you're better off learning those chords and look them up on YouTube. There's a bunch of people that'll show you how to play them. You might want to look them up a couple times so you get it the right way. Or better yet, just learn how to read a chord chart and look up some chord charts. Look up a few of them though, because you'll see different chords are written out in different ways to play them. But we're going to take the basic open E major and A minor. Alright, and that's where we're going to start out with, switching back and forth. So this is very beginner. So if you're new to chords and you've learned the E major, and you haven't learned the A minor yet, you're still in your major chords, we're going to take that E major, that same pattern our fingers are making, and every finger in the same pattern is going to just drop down a string. Right now for E major I'm holding A with my middle finger on the 2nd fret, D with my ring finger on the 2nd fret, and G on the 1st fret with my 1st finger. Alright, so those 3 fingers are just going to drop down a string and keep that pattern. Now I'm on strings D, G, and B. So on D it is 2nd fret, G it's 2nd fret, and B it's 1st fret. Same exact pattern of the E major. If you're still not quite sure of that, look up the chord charts for E major and A minor and compare them. You'll see it's the same pattern, just moved down a string. Alright, so that's a very easy chord change to start out with. You still have to move 3 fingers at once, but at least it's all to the same direction and same pattern, which is much easier than some of the other open chord changes if you're just starting out. Alright, so I'm going to set my timer so I keep this under 10 minutes. First, let's just try the E major to A minor. And to be honest, I like to start with A minor instead. So find your E major if you have to, and use that to remember what A minor is like. The more you know your major chords, the easier it is to memorize minor chords, 7th chords, etc. You're going to find a lot of patterns that exist, especially with E, A, and D. So we're going to play our A minor chord. All 3 fingers that I'm using, I'm not using my little finger, are going to come up and play the E major. So we'll try back and forth a few times, 4 times on each chord. Keep a steady rhythm, so when that 1, 2, 3, 4 is going right again to 1. We're not going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and wait to change and get comfortable and then go 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 over and over. So we'll start with A minor. And go back and forth. Just make that jump and get used to it. So that's going to be the first part of the pattern, and you want to be able to get at least that down before you continue. If not, just keep working on that. It doesn't take long. And now it's very simple as well. This whole pattern I'm going to go through, these 4 chords, we're just going to keep that same finger positioning. So we're going to start with A minor. Every finger up a string to E major. Now we're going to get into some different chords, other than the standard major and minor chords. Every finger is going to scoot over 1 fret. We're going to add a fret. Right now it's frets 2, 2, 1, working from my top finger closest to the ceiling to the finger closest to the ground. So I got an open E, 2nd fret on A, 2nd fret on D, and 1st fret on G. That's the E major. So now instead of 2, 2, 1, I'm going to add a fret. It's 3, 3, 1. That means every finger is going to scoot over 1 fret each. Now I'm going to scoot over 2 more frets. This is our 4th chord in the pattern, the last one. So I'm on my 5th fret with my middle finger on the A string, ring finger on the D string at the 5th fret, 1st finger, 4th fret of the G string, and the rest are all open. back down 2 frets, rooted on the 3rd fret, and back to E major. So going through those chords. That's all that's going on. Get those changes down and then try to give it a little bit of rhythm. First try like 4 times on A to the first 2 chords, A to E major, A minor to E major. Scoot the E major up a fret 4 times. Up 2 more frets to the 5th fret for the middle finger and ring finger, 4th fret for the index finger and the G string. Back down 2 frets to 3, 3, and 2. And back to E major. Alright, so that's the pattern. Now it's a matter of how you want to put counts into it and what kind of rhythm you give it. It's very Spanish sounding, so if I give it like a Zorro type rhythm. Notice how if you notice I'm staying around on some of these changes a little bit longer to space it out differently. So I'm not going exactly 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4 for all these chords. Because altogether, through the whole repetition of the pattern, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I want to make 6 sound like 8. Basically, I'll take 2 on one chord and add 4 to another, and then another 2 on a chord on the way back down. So I'm not exactly sure how I'd say I'd count this, but it's something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4. So if you see what I mean, I'm kind of combining. I'm saying a little bit longer in some spots, or just staying with 2 for some spots. Either way, however you mix it up, it's a really good pattern to experiment with and try mixing up counts that way. So just to wrap it up.